Well, good rainy afternoon here, everybody, from Deer Lodge, Montana. Figure I would come down here and check out this old Montana prison. Look at them beautiful old walls. I'm gonna come up here and see if it's even open. They're having a festival today, which I just did a video on, and so I'm not sure 100%. Wipe this off. If they're gonna be open, but small walls. This prison was actually operated from July 2nd, 1871 to 1979. It actually began as a territorial prison in Montana, but in 1889 it became the state penitentiary here in Montana. Let's see what the front of it looks like. Wow, look at these old, beautiful, probably guard towers back then, right? Old guard towers. Big wall so nobody could escape. It's pretty beautiful. Thought the entrance is at the front here, but I guess it's down here. So we're gonna walk a block down the road here. Kind of hoping this nasty rain will hold off. So far it's just been sprinkling a little bit, but I'm hoping it won't turn into a big downpour. All right, well, I'll see you here when we get to the front. Let's check out this big old beautiful front end.
Look at the itty-bitty door.
Where's the entrance to this place? Down that way? All right. I appreciate it. Looks like this might be the front of it. The old Montana Prison and Auto Museum. Look at the old bars. Check it out. Looks like there used to be an old building out there. The old metal bars to keep the prisoners in. Man. Here we go. We are officially in the grounds of the old Montana prison. In 1862, there was gold discovered nearby Deer Lodge, and which led to a lot of men and women coming, a lot of, robbers and thieves and murderers, and to a bunch of vigilante groups, organized and ended up hanging and killing and running off all the bad people. But so that's why they actually established this territorial prison, to house some of the worst, right? Tell an old building used to be here. You imagine what it was like in the 1800s, being stuck inside this area, Oh, this is the location of the 1896 cell house. It was an enormous red brick cell house with rounded towers, which loomed over the city of Deer Lodge until 1959, when it was damaged by an earthquake and torn down. It was divided into two sections by a 2-foot thick wall, which ran from the roof to the floor, and a smaller section held up by 38 youths, while the larger section held 256 men. It didn't have electricity and was lit by kerosene lamps. It also had no running water or sewage. Each cell had 2 buckets, one for drinking water and one for doing your waste. Damn. Imagine those times, sitting inside of a hot, cramped cell, stinking, reeking of feces and urine, and God. I just seen a guard looking at me up there. I don't know if you can see him in the window there. That's funny. That's how it would have been back in the day. Even has a gun on him. I wonder if them had windows like that back in the day, or is that something they added later on? Sure wouldn't have had like Metal bars with slots in it, like where they could reach their gun out and shoot if they needed to. Oh, I was just getting ready to say, I wonder how long it took to build this wall that goes around this prison, but it says the wall was built by convicts, right? Convict labor. It's a massive sandstone and granite wall. It says it's built with convict labor and locally quarried stone. The wall replaced a 12-foot high wooden fence. The wall is 24 feet high, 3 feet thick at the top, 4.5 feet thick at the bottom, and extends 4 feet underground. Although quite a few tried, no inmates were ever successful tunneling underneath the wall. Wow. That's cool. And here's some old pictures. Old pictures of how it was back in the day. They were building this. Of course, there was probably a lot more forest around here at that time, right? Yeah. All right, we're gonna walk this way. I think we can actually see the cell block, which would be really cool. That was the first day I met Andy, or whatever it says. You know, welcome to Shawshank. Now, where is that prison at anyways? The one, I'm not sure, they probably filmed in there, maybe not, but you know, like the opening scene of when he arrives at prison, Shawshank Redemption. That would be a cool prison to tour. The old guard tower. Also is the federal building, admin building in 1931. Oh. It says a failed escape in 1908 left Deputy Ward Johnson Robinson dead and Warden Frank Conley with 103 stitches on his back and neck. Damn. The structure was demolished in 1931 and replaced with the current building. Oh, damn. Oh, this is tower number 7. Extended north in 1911. Became the main entrance to the prison. All inmates, guards, and visitors entered and departed through these doors. Directly above this room is the guard station. Of course, you can't go up there anymore. They've got it all locked off, but it looks like they have to climb up that ladder and get up into the old guard tower. I like these old, big old, thick, heavy doors though. God. Look at that. Ain't nobody kicking that down. What we got here? Ah. The old front entrance. At first this is where I thought the entrance was. You know, walking from out in the street. Damn, I wonder where that goes. There's a handle right there. It looks like maybe a stairs that goes down underneath somewhere. Makes you wonder. I see stuff like that and I think, man, I wonder where it goes. I just want to open the door and just go down there and explore it if they'd let me, but it'd be cool. All right, let's take a trip up in here. Got these big old bars. Awesome museum. Visiting room. Damn. Imagine how loud it was in here. All the families come to see the inmates, you know. That's what it says. Oh yeah. This area was used as a close custody visiting area. Notice how the bottom of the partition is solid to prevent the passing of contraband. And this is what it would have looked like back in the day, as you can see up here on the picture. Wonder how loud it used to be in here. All the people talking, trying to talk to their loved ones, maybe sticking their fingers through the holes to touch the hands of the ones they love. Look, they had a lot of fields. You can see in that picture. A lot of like agricultural, and looks like it used to be a lot bigger. Montana State Prison. Look at that. Try to zoom this thing up. Yeah. But yeah. What they have back there. Old pictures of people boxing and pictures of people in boxing rings and playing baseball out in the yard. Trampolining, really? Horseshoes, volleyball, basketball. Well, they did a lot of stuff, didn't they? Oh, it looks like it says these buildings right here were built by M. Brown while serving time in 1973. Each of the buildings are made from wood sticks and cardboard. They have unique miniature displays inside, even some that have hidden compartments. That's pretty neat. Pretty nice. It's a way to pass the time. Oh, see, look. Like this one here has a hidden compartment underneath of it. I wonder if that's so he can make it and try to sneak it out. You know what I mean? With something in it, or try to get sneaked in. Wow. The old telephone exchange and mail room. They should do all the little telephone calls, sticking all the cords in there. Social services director. The old social services office. And of course, more buildings. He made a lot of buildings, didn't he? Yeah. Ain't that kind of sad that someone with so much talent ended up in prison in a life completely probably opposite of what they wanted to, spend their life as. Stories of the Montana State Prison, 1912 to 1920. Some of the old prisoners. I bet this was harsh back in the winter times of the early 1900s, late 1800s. Probably didn't have heat or anything, Probably about froze to death in your cell. Man, knowing that just right outside these walls was beautiful mountains and beautiful meadows and just a complete different life. Oh, this camera was used to photograph all the new prisoners. Oh, at the North Dakota State Penitentiary. They even got some women up there. Look at that. Got all the women, prisoners, murderers, and thieves, and well, there's a guy up there too, some guys, but there's some women up there. And you got all these people down here doing hard time. Well, they ain't doing hard time anymore. Now they're dead. But we all will be someday. Dental and medical, oh God. Bone saw of the early 1900s. Look at that. That's crazy. Dang, I can get the glare off of this thing. Right down in the bottom left-hand corner, right there. It says bone saw, circa early 1900s. Oh. And an old something called was a trocher or a trocher, used for urinary bladder drainage. Notice the hardwood handle. Oh man. Oh man. Dang. A scalpel used till the 1930s, reusable and sharpened for each surgery. God, man. Thank God for modern medicine. You stick anything up in me, man, you better put me out. That's called the Oregon boot. It says no one's ever escaped the Oregon boot. Have that shackled around your ankle and up around your foot. Look at that. Man, that would suck being stuck like that, just knowing you can't even get up and walk around, man. God. Oh, it says April 18th at 4:45 a.m. Montana National Guard storms prison yard and buildings. Look at that. When was that? That was back in 1959. Hell Unleashed, it says. Look at that. 3:15 p.m. 1912, a cell house captured by inmates, right? 3:30 p.m. cell house captured. Admin building captured. Deputy Warden Roth murdered at 4:05 p.m. Damn. At 4:15, Warden Powell taken hostage. 4:30 p.m. Walter Jones, prisoner negotiator, released. And that's when the National Guard came in at 4:45 a.m. the next morning. It stormed the Day of Reckoning, shooting all sorts of rocket launchers. Man, got the old guns. Oh, okay. Check that out. It says right here. Let me zoom this up a little bit. Get this in here. It says this rifle was used to kill Deputy Warden Roth. A 30-30 Winchester rifle, prison issue serial number 100. One of the two rifles seized during the 1959 riot. And that's the rifle that killed him. Wow. The old handcuffs. Look at the right, instigator Jerry Miles, Lee Smart, killer of the Deputy Warden Roth. Some old Smith & Wesson 38 specials. Smith & Wesson 38 specials with 6-inch barrels. That's cool. Oh. It said that was the rocket launcher that was used, the final blow to end the riot in 1959. That's cool. Continue on. Seems so peaceful now, you know, walking through here, you know, as a free man. Thank God. Oh, I thought you maybe could go in that. Hopefully you can go in. That's the old cell house, right? One of them. Oh, right here. Look at that. Good old-fashioned hanging. He had testified against assailants from his hospital bed 2 days after the attack. Inmate Rock pleads guilty and is hanged on June 16th. Damn. Yeah, I was saying, seems so peaceful now, but just imagine, like I said, being a prisoner during the time of the riot, and maybe you only had like a year left, and you're getting ready to get out of prison, and then all that stuff goes down, right? Kind of sit back in your cell, mind your own business, right? It's crazy. People get desperate, man. People do in life. Man, look how beautiful that is. Wow. That's why you see these buildings still, still standing. These were used to isolate continually troublesome inmates from the general population. The rooms in the tower were cells, segregation cells included. Hi. Yeah, these cells were, I guess, upstairs to house other inmates. Hey, at least they had a toilet in here, right? Dang. Close these doors. It's all dark. The only person you gotta talk to is the person next to you. Dang. That mattress looks better than the one I stayed on last night in that old motel I stayed in. Well, here we are, guys. We're in prison. This is where we gotta spend our life. Spend our days. Laying down here on a bed. Wow. I couldn't imagine being stuck in here for just years and years. Or, you know, months at least, right? Solitary confinement. Sitting got nobody to talk to. Nothing to do. You had a nice little shower right here, though, at least. Hey, that's cool. It's a luxury. It was a luxury back then.
Received a call from the gas station.
Yeah, you don't see buildings standing up this many years after these days. Wow. Look at that. Old stone, old brick. These walls could talk, right? The stories they would tell. Of course, you know, everything's made out of plywood and sticks today. Plaster and, yeah, cheap lumber. Oh, here we go again. Here's another one. Difficult prisoners were placed in these cells to isolate them from the rest of the prison population. It says after breakfast, the doors were unlocked and the inmates were allowed into the enclosed exercise yard for the entire day. One day, inmates of West Siberia Yard were giving it a hard time to the guard on duty, Tower 6. Out of frustration, the guard drew his pistol to scare the inmates. When he went to walk back inside the tower, he missed the holster and the gun fell into the yard, which snow covering the ground. The guard didn't hear a thing. When he realized it was missing the firearm, the prison locked all the inmates down to search the yard. They found nothing. They then removed the inmates from their cells to search, but still found nothing. When the inmates returned to their cells and the guards returned to the yard, there was a pistol lying out in the snow. Seems like someone didn't want to get it in any more trouble than they already were, right? Oh, wow. God. Oh, just this enclosed little yard here, look. Probably blocked off right there and just right here. Yeah, you probably want to just sit out here all day. Sure beats being stuck in this crap hole, right? Man, it's dingy. I got lead paint and asbestos up in the ceilings, right? Oh, look, someone carved in here. Harvey C. Maddox, 1969. Guest or West Siberia. That's what it says right there. Man. No lights. Well, they got a light here now, obviously, but maybe they didn't then. This is where the worst of the worst. Maybe. Old shower. Can't even see in this one. It's so dark. Man. I bet once they close that door, man, boom, you ain't seeing nothing. It's pitch black. Can't even see your hand in front of your face. Ain't no life I want. It says, visible damage of the northwest corner tower of the cell house occurred when a bazooka was fired by National Guard stun riding inmates during a successful rescue of 23 hostages on April 16th, 1959. Look, you can still see where the bazooka hit right up there in the very corner. Bent the bars and everything. Neat, isn't it? That's awesome. Here says this is the Tag Plant and Hospital in 1935. Wow, all these old machines, man, making old, what, they make license plate tags, or? Yeah. The old sentence review board of the 1970s. Turnkey desk administration building circa 1960. The old prison guards. Oh, this is a Landis shoe finisher used by cobblers to sand, buff, trim, and polish shoes and boots. Early, mid-20th century, some dating back to the 1930s. It's pretty cool, isn't it? And of course, a vintage auto soler shoe repair designed to drive nails at high speed, bonding heel and sole of the shoe. Dang, don't want to get your hand stuck in that, do you? Hand cranked wooden barrel washing machine found in the old prison storage late 19th century or early 20th century. Dang. God, hate to have that job. Oh, look, didn't think I'd see that in the prison. Toys for Tots, repairing toys at Prison Ranch 3, 1960. Repairing the old bicycles, man. Toys for Tots. At the old prison, the old Montana State Penitentiary. God. I know by looking at some of the pictures, the inmates of the 1960s had a little better off than the early 1900s, late 1800s prisoners. They had more stuff out here like this. Look, a nice baseball field. Play some baseball. Get in shape. Because really that's all you had to do when you're in prison, right? Exercise, get in shape. Wonder if they had old guards sitting up on top of the building like that, watching inmates. I'm sure there's some kind of roof access. They probably set up here and watch inmates down there playing baseball. Oh, there's a sign over there that says maximum security. We're going to head over there. See what kind of maximum security they have. Yeah, that's the spot where old Red met Andy the first time. All right, this next building is the 1912 style house. It said it was built by convict labor, 1912. Only took 11 months and had running water, flushing toilets, and good ventilation. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a little more modern, isn't it? The old prison door. Oh, here we go. It's what we've been waiting on. The old cells. Kind of step in here and that does not look fun. The old prison block. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 levels of prison cells. That's really neat. I feel like I'm on an old movie. Maybe I should go down and take a tour of Alcatraz sometime. I thought about it. Maybe I should. If I can walk around the cells, that'd be cool. I mean, just look how small these cells were. Wow. Well, I guess you are in prison to do time, right? I mean, you're not here to like enjoy yourself, but at least they had like running water sinks and a pooper. You know, a modern toilet. Wow. Now, I wonder if there's any ghost in here. Would you stay the night in here if they let you? Put a modern mattress on one of them. Let them close it. Well, not close it, lock it, but walk around here at night. See if maybe you can hear the whispers of the old inmates that have long gone. Maybe the ones that were shibbed in the prison yard, or you know. Guys doing hard time, some of them probably for murder and everything. Like right here. Like this guy here, sentenced in Granite County, May 16, 1918, 1 to 2 years. Dang. This dude here is doing 1 to 12 years, 1918. A lot of rugged old dudes, right? God. Well, times were pretty tough back then, right? Times were really tough then. Dang. Reminds me of the movie Shawshank Redemption. With all the cells open, prisoners walk out. I have to do roll call. Yeah. Knowing that any time you might get stabbed to death in the lunch line, right? Maybe by somebody that doesn't like you. Maybe for no reason. Look, the old bath, the old shower area. Oh. You got the old pipes in the wall. I think that's where Andy escaped down the tunnel. Swam through crawled through a mile of crap to reach freedom on the other side. No, I don't know. It's not the same prison, right? That's what I think about when I see it. The old Shawshank Redemption. Maybe this is where they put nets up so prisoners couldn't throw stuff down. Some of the ones that would maybe try to pee out their cells, or I don't know, maybe cell 31, 29, 27. Looks like they all pretty much had the same thing in them, right? Look at that. The old pillow, the old mat, painted toilet, little cabinet to keep their belongings, little stool to sit on. Man. Oh, and it looks like maybe, I don't know, were those maybe windows to guards could peek in on them through the back? I don't know, probably not, but man. Even if you only had like a 10-year sentence, I mean, that would definitely change a person, wouldn't it? 10 years, sitting in a room, wouldn't know how to act when you came out. Oh, look at this. Cast and crew came to Deer Lodge. Fast Walking was the first of several movies made to be filmed at the museum. Fast Walking starred James Wood as a dope-smoking prison guard called Fast Walking. The missing wall of the two cells you are now looking at was removed during the filming of the movie as to have a better room and angles for the camera. Ah, okay. See this cell here? Rip the wall out. Just so they can have the cameras over here looking in. Make it look like you really was in there, you know? It's pretty neat. The movie was filmed right there. Some of the actors. James Wood. Runaway Train. Last Ride. Love Comes Executioner. 2006. Pretty cool. We got the cell of old Mike Foley. Guess that crazy old guy had been there forever. Told everybody he owned a bunch of diamond mines. Everybody laughed at him. So he ended up killing another inmate. Damn. Wow. Dang, look at this. This is a done up old prison. Look, people threw money in there. Must have been a famous guy. Says he was in Germany. Wanted to meet a real cowboy someday. Went to the West searching for cowboys and found more than he bargained for. One fateful day, unrequited love led to tragedy, and tragedy landed Paul in Montana State Prison on charge of murder. That's cool. In these prisons, everybody's issued a prison wallet. The old prison wallet. What's down here? Oh, the old prison chapel. Chapel and bakery. Oh, it says the gun port on the wall is connected to the surveillance tunnel, which could be entered from the trapdoor in tower number 7. Okay. It was a bakery and prison chapel. The old prison shower. Bet some crazy stuff went down in here when the guards weren't looking. Or maybe the guards turned their eye and looked the other way. Got the old container to put your soap up in. I about fell down off this ledge. Just don't want to drop the soap, right? Looks like you got the whole back entrances and stairs. Okay. The hole was reserved for the obstinate inmates. There was no light in the cell except for to the peephole. Inmates' diet in the hole was bread and water. There was a 10-day limit on the time in the hole, after which inmate received an examination by a doctor. If he passed the examination, he could be returned to the hole for another 10 days. Even after disciplinary cells were constructed, these cells were still used until 1979, just not as often. One inmate in 1979, for whatever, refused to move out of the new prison from the old. He spent 31 days in the hole before he decided it might be a better option to move. Okay. God, can you imagine doing time in here? You have nothing to sit on. Look. Sleeping right here on the concrete floor, leaned up against the wall. 10 days of just pitch blackness. The only light you got is this little hole. Gotta look out there to let your eyes adjust a little bit. See, and that's what it would look like. Pipe down in there, mate. No bathroom facilities do not work. Bathroom located in the Gunport Theater. Oh. My storage was full, my external storage, so I bet they had to put that sign up in that bathroom. Someone probably went down there with their runs and took a dump. All the old lunchroom. Take all you want, eat all you take. Man. God. Here we go. Oh, prison tunnel. Okay, here we go. Maybe that's what the sign was talking about in the other room. Remember in the chapel said something about a tunnel temporarily closed for maintenance. That's cool. Says you're not allowed to go there now. See if we can see down in there. Temporarily closed. This is the women's prison of 1907. Said the women first were incarcerated in Montana were housed in makeshift log cabins in the yard of the prison and eventually on the third floor of the federal building. Look at this. Bernice Nelms, 24 years old, 10 years for robbery. Frankie Arnold, 49 years old, 5 years for sale of narcotics. Gypsy Dean, 48 years old, 2 years possession of morphine. Look at this, 20 years, second-degree murder. Look, 3 years for carrying a loaded revolver to jail to aid her husband in escaping. Holy crap. Duh, right? Maximum security, 1959, it says. Look at that. Please keep the door closed to prevent squatters. Let's go in here. Dang, these cells were pretty big. Maximum security. Quiet down in there, boy. Got the old, you know, where all the guards would sit. Don't these seem a lot bigger than the ones that we've seen in the other building? A lot bigger. Maybe it's just because they don't have anything in them, right? Probably handed their lunch tray for their food down through here. Punishment. Isolations. Damn. Well, what are you doing in there, buddy? What are you here for? What are you in for? What? What was that? You don't gotta be rude, dude. I'm just asking you, man. Alright, whatever, new fish. No, what? No, I'll remember you. I'll remember. You just wait, buddy. Wait till you get out. There's some people coming in. I should have been real quiet and jumped out. Blah! It's a big cell. I will watch. I'm gonna hide in here. I'm gonna walk out right when they come around the corner. Check it out. I mean, they already see me, I think, anyways, but. This ought to be funny. I'm gonna wait. Maybe I should hide around the corner. Turn the light on. Oh, you can. You turn the light on. Boy. I just scared that dude. I just scared him. Hi. I was waiting for you guys.
Alright, that's twice. I'm out.
I was waiting. I was like, I'm gonna hide back here and wait for these people to come in. Scare that guy out. Yeah. I scared him the first time he came here, and then I kind of hid. So maybe he'd come back and go. Oh, okay.
I thought she was her son. I was trying to scare her son, and I got her on accident.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. All right. And finally, we got the old theater, which it doesn't look like you can go inside of. So, we got a bloody nose. Yeah. It's unfortunate. And that was funny, scaring them people. I should have waited for it. Man, there was another family coming right after that, and we were walking out, and I thought, dang, I should have stayed in there and stayed in there for a couple hours to scare everybody that comes in, right? It's funny. Maybe you could have went in here. Oh. Can't really see in there, but you can hear all the pigeons. It's just big and empty in there. Nothing in there. But the old theater. Well, all right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this little. Oh, wait a second. I think there's like a little museum or something over here. Let's walk this way. Yeah, it's an old museum. Stagecoach in Deer Lodge, 1897. Oh. God. Look at that. Back to the old drafting machines. You look like they had bicycle tires on them. Haha, look at that. Miniature car collection donated by Ronald of Bozeman, Montana. Got the old license plates. That's cool. It's a BMW. Look at that. BMW. Jetta 300. Or, yeah, Jetta 300? Jetta 300? I don't know. Yeah. 1800's horse-drawn Dr. Buggy. Sporting card of 1880. Wow, look at all these neat things. Wow, I forgot all about this being in here. That's cool. Hey, look at this. It's a 1912 Buick Model 35. 1912.
This is nice.
I think that's cool.
1914, you get 213 miles on a charge. Let's see. Oh, one of the guys who tried electric. It's electric or whatever it is, electric. Well, about 211, but normally 80.
1915 Ford Model T. Ford Motor Company.
Yeah, this is pretty nice, this one. Okay, this steering wheel's on the right too. So where's this one? Let me see. How do you turn it? metal house. It's like a museum. There's not a screen on there that I can see. Over here.
All right, everybody. Well, I think that's going to be the end of the video for the old Montana Territorial Prison. Hope you guys enjoyed the little tour of it. I know I did. And I'll see you guys on the next venture. See you later.